Oh yeah, we are finally at a point in which there is proper nostalgia for games with 32-bit aesthetic. I had to stand and watch the whole craze for the 8-bit NES style games, the 16-bit Genesis nostalgia, but now it's finally the 32-bit PlayStation Megalomania!
This is great!
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love 8-bit games and 16-bit games. In fact, I love them all, but I've always had a soft spot for the 32-bit era of gaming. And I'm happy it's finally getting the time and reconsideration it deserves, either with new indie games with 32-bit like graphics, but also through the numerous re-releases of older games. And I'm truly glad these are happening, not only for us to relive the nostalgia of the titles we played as kids, but also to discover some that we might have missed. Case in point, I never played today's game before, so elation and jubilation gamers from all around the world. I am Lucian, the World Gamer. Welcome to my show, where we talk about everything gaming, new, indie, and retro, like today's topic, Tomba, or Tombi as it's known outside of North America. And because I didn't grow up with this game when I was a kid, I will be able to give you a fresh perspective, unaltered by any nostalgia goggles for this title specifically. So grab your pink hair dye as we find out if Tomba from 1997 is still worth playing today, basically 30 years later. Man, I'm old. Tomba is a 2.5D platformer developed by Whoopee Camp and released originally on PlayStation in 1997 in Japan and 1998 in the rest of the world. But the re-release we are playing today is brought to us by Limited Run Games, who made this hidden classic available once again in 2024. You can purchase Tomba digitally for $20, physically from Limited Run's website for $35 plus shipping costs, and it's localized in English, French, German, Italian, Portuguese, and Spanish. Truly world gaming material. By the way, in any other languages besides English, Tomba becomes Tombi, because the word Tomba was a little bit too similar to the word tomb when localized, especially in Italy, where Tomba literally means tomb. Well anyway, the publisher provided me with a digital copy on PlayStation 5 for today's review, but the game is also available on Nintendo Switch and PC. I will be ultra transparent though, this is not a remake, nor it's a remaster. This is sort of an emulation plus, powered by Limited Run's own Carbon engine. But the best part is that this version is enriched with tons of beautiful extras, hence the name of the game, Tomba Special Edition. But we will get to those soon enough. First, let's cover the game itself. Again, I did not play this game as a kid, so I don't have any real nostalgia for it. No, that goes all to the second game, Tomba 2. That's what I played back then. This means that I will be able to give you a 100% unbiased opinion on this first adventure. And what can I say, it's pretty good. Honestly, it feels like one of those retro-inspired indie games that are out today, except this is the real deal, from 1997. First, we are greeted by this awesome cartoon as an intro sequence, very well animated and action-packed, that introduces us to the protagonist. You play as Tomba, the pink-haired Tarzan wannabe, and you have to free the villages from the evil swines, who also stole Tomba's golden bracelet that holds very special value to him. So, no better revenge than stunning these evil pigs with your spiked ball, or boomerang or whatever, and finish them all off by getting all physical and intimate. Tomba, what are you doing?
Damn!
Which means jumping on them and then throw them far away.
T-Rock is blasting off again!
Truly, this guy's a savage maniac, and I love him. I love his character design. It's the perfect balance between cute and feral. Tomba can jump on top of almost everything. even just to collect things. Moreover, just like the little Tarzan that he is, he can also climb on almost everything and explore the in and outs of each of the levels. The graphics are presented in 2.5D, which means that most of the gameplay is that of a 2D side-scroller, but the actual graphics are in 3D. Well, at least the environments are, since Tomba himself and the rest of the characters and enemies are sprite-based with an extremely cute pixel art. In fact, the whole visual department is very colorful and a pleasure to look at, even after all these years. The 3D environments have been well implemented also in the gameplay, by which Tomba can jump in the background and foreground, allowing for more complex level design. Tomba can also visit towns with an overhead view and receive quests from the townsfolk, sort of like an RPG. In fact, the whole adventure is a non-linear affair, as you can revisit levels with newfound abilities and equipment which will open new pathways. Exploration and backtracking will be your bread and butter here. Like in the most classic Metroidvania, during a time when it was not that common. Luckily, there is also a map you can check out at any time and an event tracker as a reminder of what to do next. And there's a ton of quests, some of which are very weird. You go from rescuing a puppy to delivering some bananas for some hungry monkey. All this while also jumping around and hang from some strange flowers with the shape of a butt.
Was that a fart? I can taste it on my tongue.
It's like living in a fever dream, I tell you. But in a good way, in the sense that you never know what's coming next. The whole experience should take you about 6 to 8 hours to complete. And this will be some exhilarating hours. Tomba will be put in the most humorous conversations and situations, like when the townsfolk addresses Tomba with the pink hair, or when he reveals that he stores all the small chicks he just collected in his stomach, causing the surprised reaction of the wise of the village. The game comes with a platinum trophy, and most of the other trophies consist on clearing all the quests and collect all the good stuff and bonuses that this adventure has to offer. A pretty nice selection overall. The music by Harumi Fujita also complements the visual aspect pretty well, with cheery tunes that further help you to get into the happy vibe of the game. I guarantee you will find yourself humming these tunes even when you're not playing. It's that good. And you can even choose to listen to the old soundtrack or the new version, rearranged for this occasion, and something very different from the original, and I'd argue even better. Thankfully, the developers have been kind enough to put a dedicated sound test option in the main menu. And this is far from the only new feature of this special edition. No sir. There are of course new menus, very colorful and filled with new animations and artworks for the characters. But more importantly, you also have access to a beautiful and expansive art gallery filled with artworks, sketches, development documents, trailers and other promo materials, box arts from the original PlayStation release, and even manuals. Yeah, remember when we used to get those? Moreover, there is also a ton of interviews with the developers, including the director Tokuro Fujiwara and composer Harumi Fujita, who, after both contributing on some of the most influential games from Capcom, decided to go indie in 1995, way before it was cool, and founded Whoopee Camp. And let me tell you, it's a pleasure to see and hear this new documentary full of little known facts and curiosities about the development of the game. The whole gallery is a real treasure trove that transpires love, care and respect from anywhere you look at it. What the fuck? Heck, the developers even had the courtesy of translating the parts written in Japanese in the original sketches and documents. I've never seen this level of care, honestly, aside maybe from the masters of preservation at Digital Eclipse. This is how extra features should be implemented, with love and care. Take note, developers, take note. But wait! There's more. This is an emulated version of Tomba, a game, I remind you, from 1997, which is a time when games used to kick your butt with hard-ass difficulty, even in spite of the cute and happy atmosphere. And that's where the new quality of life improvements come into place. Being an emulated port means you can save anywhere through save states and also rewind, which is a godsend during those difficult sections. If you are a hardcore gamer who only plays games like Dark Souls to prove that you're better than everybody else, well, you're in luck, because you can still ignore those facilitations and use the old-fashioned in-game checkpoint saves. I personally value my time, and I'm very glad that the developers do that too. Emulation also means that the visuals have not been altered that much, including the aspect ratio, which is not widescreen. Nope. It's firmly old school with the original ratio. You can add colorful borders around the image, but I'd rather leave them black for a more authentic and focused experience. The resolution has been bumped up, of course, and every 3D element now feels more detailed than ever. Even the performance feels much more fluid than the original. So to answer the question posed at the beginning of the video, is Tomba or Tombi worth playing now, basically 30 years later? Well, if you're a retro gamer, and if you're watching this video, you probably are, then sure, it's worth it. It's a PS1 cult classic that comes with quality of life improvements and a slew of new extras. So even if you played the original, it's still worth it. And what if you didn't play it when it first came out in 1997? Well then, if you are into old school or even recent indie platformers, this is a very valid exponent of the genre. Even if you get easily frustrated, this game is still worth it, thanks to the rewind and save states features, which combined with the colorful graphics and happy vibe, makes it a good choice also for kids. It's a great time to be a retro enthusiast, honestly. And what I love even more is that not only we are seeing re-releases of classic old games that everybody and their moms know, but thanks to Limited Run, we are also able to replay games that were not that famous to begin with, even back then. They are giving them a second chance to shine, and Tomba especially goes for a pretty penny nowadays if you want to grab a copy of the PS1 disc. So this re-release, which is also available physically for collectors, is definitely very convenient. For us to be able to play it on modern hardware, but also for our wallets. I'm just not sure why we didn't get a proper collection with a second game already included, since Tomba 2 is the one I played growing up. And since it's been already announced, I'm not sure why we're not getting them both at the same time, like they are doing with the Gex trilogy or the Fighting Force collection, for example. A Tomba collection would have been much appreciated, but at least we're still getting the second Tomba anyway, and I look forward to that and all the rest of retro re-releases that Limited Run has in store for us. And I'm so glad that more gamers can either walk down the memory lane or discover new titles from the earlier days of gaming. The amount of love and care put into this re-release is astronomical, and evident in every aspect. These are the kind of re-release that deserve support, the ones that go the extra mile, that give a second life to games that needed it the most in the first place. And among this, Tomba finally got the second chance it rightfully deserves. But this is just one guy's opinion on the internet, so now I want to know yours down in the comments. Did you play this game? What do you think of it? Are you looking forward to more retro releases? Share your thoughts or memories in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. This way you will always be up to speed with my latest content, and it will also help a fellow gamer out to bring you the best quality content. For you it's just a few buttons away, but for me it truly does make a difference. But really, I just want to thank you so much for spending some of your precious time watching this video to the end. I will be seeing you in my next one, but until then, stay safe, play safe, world gamers.